In this video, I'm going to show you a lot of the items that I've used up out of my pantry, as well as a new recipe that I'm trying out. Finishing 2 items for breakfast. So, finish my current vanilla almond milk container and finished a box of Honey Nut Cheerios. This has been a long-term item in my pantry since February, as you can see, since Valentine's Day. So, ready to go ahead and move on to other breakfast items. Feels good. So for dinner tonight, I'm gonna use up something out of my freezer. I had frozen this taco soup. It's kind of like a taco chili soup. And I took it out of the freezer a couple days ago. It's been defrosting and I went ahead and reheated it on the stove. Added some cheese that I'm trying to use up as well. And when I was at work today, I went ahead and bought some corn chips out of the candy machine because I didn't want to buy a whole bag because I just have a few servings of this to use up and I didn't want a whole bag of Fritos hanging around. So this was just $1. That's actually a good price here for chips out of a vending machine. So I have enough here. I might use this whole bag or I'll just use half of it this time and save the other half. Regardless, I have a second bag of these. So that's gonna make a tasty little dinner for me. Here's the Mexican style cheese that I used in the soup. I didn't image it, so I'm showing it to you now. Ready to use it up. This week I'm going to use up 1 item out of my pantry. This is a minimal pantry use up, but I'm still making progress and I need to use up these noodles. So I'm going to go ahead and make let's call it a chicken Alfredo bake. I'm kind of making it up as I go along. I'll start with the ingredients that I have. I've got this bucatini pasta that I bought a while back, and it's macaroni, but they're long. But it isn't exactly what I was looking for a macaroni and cheese recipe, but it's in the neighborhood. I'm not gonna make the macaroni and cheese recipe for a while, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use this up. I've also got chicken breasts to go with it, Alfredo, broccoli, some cheese to spread on top. This is the Tillamook Italian blend. I've never tried this kind. I've got my seasonings to flavor with, of course, Tony's Italian seasoning and parsley, as well as a little olive oil spray for the pan. I think this will make a good option for the week, another option to eat, food to take with me to work. So I'll go ahead and get started. All right, I'm gonna start by cooking my chicken. I've got the oven preheating to 350. Actually, for chicken, I think I'm gonna up it to like 425. So I'm just gonna bake it briefly to get it started cooking and then pull it out, cut it into chunks, and then mix it with the other items. So to start off, we've got the chicken. I've gotta decide how much to use. So I used about half a bag. I've got 3 chicken breasts here. I think that'll be enough. And then we're also gonna add the broccoli and the Alfredo sauce once it's all cooked. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray a little more on top. I'm not putting this is real olive oil, but I'm not putting a lot of olive oil because I don't want the pan to have a ton of olive oil sitting on the bottom because I'm gonna reuse the pan for the Alfredo bake once the chicken's cooked. So, gonna add first this Italian seasoning right here. Parsley. And of course, a little bit of Tony's. All right, this is ready to go to the oven. I'm gonna up the temperature to about 425. Let this cook just till it starts cooking and I can cut it and then I'll add the other ingredients. So I've got a pan of water ready to cook the pasta. I'm cooking it in a pan because these are long noodles and I find when cooking pasta, it's best to leave the long noodles whole and cook them in a wide pot. So I'm just gonna add the bucatini. They'll cook down and then they'll all fit. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt, just plain salt. And let this cook. So the chicken's been cooking for about 20-25 minutes. I took it out. You can see some of them are still a little uncooked. Others have cooked a little more. Next time I'm gonna buy fresh chicken so I won't feel the need to bake it a little bit before. I just didn't want to sit there and try to cut frozen chicken. Wasn't in the mood for that, so I just put it in the oven to cook a little while. First I'm gonna add the pasta and mix that all in. Now I'm going to add the broccoli. So I use about 2/3 of the bag. I'm trying to see if I could fit more, but then I think the pan will be overcrowded. So we're gonna stop there. We're gonna add now the Rouse homemade Alfredo. Should I add a little water? I don't think I need. I think the oil at the bottom of the pan from the chicken will add enough moisture, and the broccoli is gonna let out some moisture. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and pop it back in the oven for another 20 minutes, let the chicken finish cooking, and then add the cheese on top after that to let it melt. That's what I'm gonna do, I think. All right, it's been cooking about 15 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and add the Italian blend cheese to the top and let that get good and melty. Maybe even start to brown a little bit. I'm just gonna go with about half a bag and then I might see after that. So I've got 1 cup here and I'm just gonna sprinkle it on top. All right, so I think we need a little more. Half a cup and see if that's enough. There we go. So we've got 1.5 cups of the Italian blend. So I'm gonna pop it back in the oven. Just check on it every 10 minutes, watch that cheese, make sure it cooks through. Hopefully the cheese will start to brown a little bit. I think that will be so good. Y'all, I let it cook about 20 more minutes and look at this. I don't even know what to say. Words cannot express. So I'm gonna let it cool and set a little bit. Let's get a little slideshow. And then I'm gonna cut it and serve myself a slice. I'm gonna try to get about 12 servings out of this. I put it in my Fitness Pal and they equal about 268 calories if I get 12 servings. So that's good, and then I can have something with it. Today I'll probably just have it by itself because I've been cooking all day and I don't feel like cooking anymore. So, but look at this. So I went ahead and cut me a little bit out of the corner. I really think I need to let it sit a little bit more. It's it'll serve, eat more easily. But I was ready to eat. But look at that, look how good. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat this, and then later on after it's set, I'll see if I can cut them into even sizes and kind of portion them up for the week. So I've let it set a little while and I have cut it. I've cut half of it and put it into these containers for the week, and I still have quite a bit left. So as I cut it, this is what I get in the container. And I think The side pieces come out well because there's a sharp edge, but looks good. Okay, so I'm sharing with you guys the great tower of pasta. So this is what I got out of it. I've got all these little containers. I actually ran out of the blue ones, and so I had to improvise. We've got these leftover ham containers and one last little leftover Indian dinner container. It's got 2 containers in there. What I found another container. I'll find something to do with that one. But this is what I got out of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 leftover. I ate 2 servings. I went ahead and had a second serving because I ran out of containers. And it was just so good. So there is, I'll open one to show you what's in them. Let me open a big one. So this is what I got in them. So I can add some more veggies on the side there if I want, or I can just take 2 and eat 2 servings if I don't cook anything to go with it, or have, you know, just improvise. But these are gonna go in the fridge, and I'll probably pop about half of them in the freezer to eat in a few weeks. I'm taking another trip home, so when I get back from my trip, I like to have food in the freezer to just pop out, not have to worry too much about cooking, let it defrost. So, yes. Success. So I'm gonna make up some dinner. I've got some broccoli here. I've sprayed it with the extra virgin olive oil cooking spray. This is the baby broccoli. I've used about 1/3 of the bag. I'll probably go ahead and cook the rest so it'll be ready. But I'll start off with this, and then I seasoned with Tony's Sashries, tiny bit of Italian seasoning, tiny bit of parsley. And we're gonna pop it in the oven, and when it's done, I'm gonna serve it with a leftover slice of pizza. So I've added a slice of pizza. This is the Brooklyn Bridge by the Pagliacci Pizza Shop, which is local to Seattle. So this is gonna be my dinner. So the broccoli has started cooking. I'm adding the pizza about halfway through to heat that up as well. This is gonna be a little bit of an odd, eclectic dinner, but I'm using up stuff I have. I'm not ordering out, so it's a great choice. The plate. We've got pizza, reheated from frozen. I let it defrost in the fridge for a few days, and we've got broccoli. So, nice little dinner. Chicken's just about ready to go in the oven. This is my usual way of cooking it. I just put it in the pan with some olive oil and the holy trinity of seasonings. We've got Tony's Sashries, we've got Italian seasoning, and we've got a little bit of parsley. So I'm gonna cook it on 425. These are smaller strips, so we'll probably start with about 30-40 minutes and then check on them. And they may go for longer, but I set my timer for about 30 minutes. Check, close it, check again in about 20 minutes. They're usually done at that point. And then this will go in my bowl, my meal prep bowls for later in the week to go with the veggies that I have. And I'm finishing off a bag of carrots. I'm just steaming them. I've got a pot of water and my little steam basket on top. This steam basket came with my rice cooker, but I just use it on the stove. So I'm gonna finish off a bag of carrots that badly need to be used, and then I'll add these as the veggies to go with my chicken and my broccoli. So, chicken's done. I've added it to the containers with the broccoli and the carrots. It's ready to go. I've got 2 meals here. This will be one of my meals each day when I go back to work in a couple of days. So, ready to go.